Hello, DT fans. Welcome back to another YouTube video. I told you I was doing this. I'm doing my I don't know how this the review. Bye week's coming up, so we're doing my bye week review as well as my bye week preview for the end of the season. Going into that, so where did I put my phone? Oh, where did I put that? Did I put it behind? Hold on, let me find my phone real quick. There it is. Need to look up this schedule. That's not getting edited out. I don't edit at all, so you get to see that. But no, I'm keeping the phone out so that I can look at the season. Mostly the end of the season, whatnot. Gotta do it like that. But yeah, we're going into it. Let's see here. Not really. I mean, season we go in 3-3. Won the first game, lost 3. Now we have a 2-win streak. Going on to the bye, maybe we can pull up another win versus Cleveland. Who knows? I can't tell you. There's not much I can really say here. Cleveland's looking like they're the same record as us, 3-3. They're a beatable team, so that game can go either way. It's in Cleveland, so hit or miss there. I'm doing my preview first. Then I'm gonna do my review. Actually, no, I should do the review first. Now that I think about it, so yeah, we went into the season. We beat Buffalo. We started out strong. I think we handled what we needed to, and then we lost the Raiders, Bengals, and Packers. The Bengals one is the one that hurts the most, and then you can obviously say the Raiders one and then the Packers, but that Bengals one, it just lost to a division rival who last placed last year in the division. It was terrible, and we also lost at home. I don't know what else to say to that. That was terrible. That one hurt the most. Not really much I can say about that. I mean, hey, we bounced back the past 2 weeks, being Denver and Seattle. Seattle game was very close. Both games were very close. So, I mean, obviously, Mike Tomlin said it after week 1, we're not going to win pretty football games. That's not what we're here to do. We're just here to win. So, I'm going to take it as a yes. As I mean, hey, I'm okay with that. You know, I'd rather us win the football games than, instead of putting out well, I like blowouts. Yes, of course. Who doesn't want to see a blowout? But I'd rather just win games. Because winning games means you can go to the Super Bowl. Because you can't make the playoffs, therefore you can't fight for the Super Bowl if you don't win games. So, I mean, yeah. Obviously, a blowout here or there means you're a dominant team. And, I mean, if you're a dominant team, I mean, hey, if we... I'll get into my preview. I'll talk about this more later, but yeah, so, I mean, 3-3, average, okay season. Looks like the offense is gelling a little bit more now. I mean, we've gotten points first in terms of touchdowns, and in a few games here or there. So we're really clicking. But that's about it. I mean, our defense is keeping us in games when our offense is just being terrible. And our offense needs now, if our team can play, our team's playing right now, I want to say maybe like 2 to 3 quarters worth of football. The other fourth quarter football, they're like, and I'm not saying it's fourth quarter, I'm saying combined. It's like a quarter worth of football, which is worth of just bad play. Maybe you let up some points, and you do that versus the right teams, and you'll lose games. Do that versus the right teams, and you might win games. So, I mean, you gotta pick and choose. Anywho, enough said about the topic. I'm okay about the season. I didn't predict it. I predicted us to go 4-2. And going to the bye week. Now we're 3-3, so I'm not off. I mean, I guess I'm just like the team, a little okay. I'm in the middle. I'm not super. I mean, I guess I'm okay. It could be worse. After that Raiders game, and especially after the Bengals game, I thought we were going to lose a lot more games than we did. I thought we were going to go with maybe 1 win, 2 wins at max. So I'm very proud of what this is. But I'm not like super confident. Like, yeah, we're gonna go to Super Bowl. If anything, we'll just miss the playoffs. But yeah, on to the prediction now going in. We have some winnable games. Chicago, Detroit, Minnesota. Those are all winnable games. I'm going to go down the list here. Obviously, bye week. And then Cleveland, at Cleveland. That's a toss-up. Because Cleveland looks like they can... Cleveland's a team where they're 50-50. If you can get to them, you can try to beat them. They definitely was without Chubb, and that was definitely evident versus Arizona. Let's see, and I mean OBJ just hasn't helped them one bit. So I mean, maybe that's a OBJ Cleveland thing and not actually OBJ, but I think he's a little bit more overrated. Jarvis Landry was definitely their number one target, and I think he's definitely going to be. I think their Browns kind of gel Thursday when they play the Broncos. But that's an easy game that can go to. That's not an easy game for us to win. That's a game that goes to overtime, or comes down to like the last minute, a field goal or something like that. If we win that game, I don't see us going out and like blowing them out of the water. Then we play Chicago, November 8th. That game, that's a game where you can win by a touchdown. I don't necessarily think we blow out Chicago. Their offense is just outside of David Montgomery, who's hurt. I think he's on IR, so he's not going to come back. But outside of Allen Robinson, they don't have anybody that's good on offense outside of him and David Montgomery. Justin Fields is a rookie. He's unproven. I'm not considering him good or bad. I don't consider rookies good or bad. I didn't consider Justin Fields good. He showed signs, but I start seeing if you're good in the second year, because you can have a great rookie season, or you can be a part of a good team, and then that team loses significant players, and now you're dog. If you're a dog poo poo. So yeah. So the Bears is definitely a team we can beat by more than 3 points. Knowing us, we'll end up making that game close. But I definitely can see us winning that game. The Lions we should blow out. That's a game where we should the Bengals just blow them out. If our offense is going in there, we should beat them. They have no one significant outside of DJ Hawkinson. Jared Goff is butt cheeks. That should be a blowout. Will it not be a blowout? No. That game will probably end up going to overtime. We may even lose that. That might be a trap game. I'm sorry if the mic is cutting in and out. I like to use my hands. I'm Italian. Get over it. But yeah, that should be blowout. That's going to probably end up being a very close game, because the Steelers have good records of losing to bad teams. Then we play the Chargers. That's a loss. And I know they just lost to the Ravens. They only put up 6. But unlike the Steelers, this team isn't like the Ravens. We don't have an explosive offense like the Ravens. And I know the Ravens lost their 3 running backs. And they forgot that the main important running back is their quarterback. And I know blah blah blah, but Lamar Jackson can run by himself. Most of his rushing yards is by Lamar anyway. So most of the rushings doesn't change much. Lamar's still balling. I mean, he may become the MVP again. He may get his second MVP in 3 years. So there's not much you can say. The Chargers, now that's in LA. We can go and pull the whole Steeler Nation going to LA thing. I expect us to do that. I don't think that changes much. That might be more of a letdown if people go there, but hey, if it happens, it happens. I'm all for it. If we win, we win. If we lose, we lose. I think we're going to lose. That's a game we lose by maybe a touchdown by. I think we'll be fierce, but I just don't think that's alright. Then after we play Cincinnati in Cincinnati, always kind of consider a second home, but based off how the first meeting is and how this team has grown, that's an overtime game. That's an overtime potentially going in. You play overtime, and then you see from there that might be a win, or that's a 3-point couldn't come down to a last second field goal, something like that. It happens. All right, then we play Ravens. That's a loss. We'll play in physical. We may, who knows? Maybe surprise them. Maybe we win that game. This is a very physical rivalry. The games don't go. It's not like a blowout. The games they're very close. They're either very defensive, where you score little points, or they're very offensive, where you're scoring high points into like the 30s and 40s. This game probably is going to be in between. I want to say it goes to 20s. I think that's a last-second field goal, but I think we lose that game. Offensively and defensively, the Ravens are slightly better. Offensively, they're a little bit better because Lamar Jackson can do it all in terms of running. His passing's all right, but he has shown signs of growth in terms of the passing game. Obviously, his rushing is elite. And then, obviously, our defense has stopped Lamar in the pass, so that could be a good sign for us to go in and win. But you can never count out the Ravens, especially when they just exposed the Chargers like how they did. That's definitely a top team, potentially a Super Bowl contender. Obviously, you have to wait and see how they play versus the Chargers. Well, not the Chargers, the Chiefs. And maybe possibly the Bills to fully see how they do it. And the Chiefs is a bad example. Their defense is disgustingly bad. Now, it's not obviously the Super Bowl contender. They're definitely having a drought. I'm also going to get back closer to them later on. Vikings, that's a game. See, the Vikings are kind of like the Titans. They can win you games, but they'll also lose games to bad teams and or good teams. They're 50. They'll lose by like field goals, a late second. It's a good mix. So now that game is on Thursday night, which is prime time. Who doesn't play well in prime time? Kirk Cousins. So take it how you want it. They do have playmakers on offense. Their defense, they also do have playmakers too. But yeah, Kirk Cousins is not a very good primetime quarterback, so I think we can get a win there. But I wouldn't be surprised if this goes to overtime. I'm saying that for a lot of games because of the fact that it's true. It took us overtime to beat Seattle, and they had a backup quarterback in there who hasn't played quarterback in like 2 years, 3 years at most. So, and like when I mean playing, he hasn't played starting quarterback in an actual legit game. That's not preseason. Going into the Titans, sort of the same thing. They can go like yesterday. They beat the Bills, or they'll go beat the toughest teams in the AFC, NFC, and then they'll lose to teams like the Jets. So that's a 20 of that's a flip. Heads, tails, you can call it however you want it. That I'm going to say comfortably that we can win that game. But it depends on who they have. Because if they have Julio and they have AJ Brown, I'm not too sure if we can. We have a defense that can stop Henry. We have some corners who have been playing. James Pierre is playing elite. He's not playing elite, but he's making some decent plays. He's covering. He's made some mistakes. He's still young. Joe Hayden's doing Joe Hayden things, obviously. That's just more of a feel. Obviously, these games, once they get closer, they'll be talked about much, much more. These are just early predictions. I'm basing it off 6 weeks of NFL football. There's a whole lot of football. Injuries can still happen. Trades can still happen. There's just a lot that can still happen before the trade deadline, before games happen. But take it. Kansas City. Told you I was going to be back here. Kansas City's defense is kind of horrendous. Their offense is what's keeping them in games. The way Kansas City is winning it is because their offense is winning games. They're able to put up 30 points, 40 points on some defenses, but their defense is also letting up 30, 40 points per game too. That's a point where we have to capitalize, and then our defense has to, apply pressure. We saw what happened in the Super Bowl. Pat Mahomes was getting destroyed by the pressure from the Bucs. You work on that, and you may. I'm not saying we get the upset, but cut 30 down the road when I get down to that prediction, based off what I'm seeing right now, the potential there is very high. Who knows? We could be going on a win streak. We could have seen our last 3 and go on a win streak. Who knows? I don't think that. I think we, based off of it, I think we lose a lot more games down the road. And then obviously, but yeah, I think that's a potential. That's a toss, and that it could also be overtime again. And obviously, you heard what I said about Cleveland and about Baltimore. Those to close out the season. If we need a playoff berth and we need a winning game to make the playoffs, I mean, maybe we just gotta channel 2005 and do something there. I don't know. Part of me doesn't want to make the playoffs. Part of me wants to win enough to not break our win record, but part of me doesn't want to wants to also have a top 10 draft pick. But yeah, I mean, further down the road, we'll see how that goes. I mean, exciting stuff. I'm just gonna go down here, add up totals. Let's see. Uh, 10-6 is what I'm projecting. I know I'm projecting us to win a lot of games, but there's a lot of teams. There's a lot of teams you can go in and win a few games. But there's also teams we lose. So I'm thinking 9, 7, 10, and 6. Anything's possible. Anywho, I'm gonna get off now. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think. Well, I always like reading your comments. Tell people. And yeah, this is John Thompson saluting off.